Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and thought, what happened? Why does my body suddenly feel so different? Maybe you're living this reality right now. You haven't become lazy. You haven't lost your discipline. In fact, many women tell themselves they're trying harder than ever before. They are eating less, exercising more, avoiding desserts, trying every new diet they find online, and yet something feels completely out of their control. The scale continues to rise. Their waistline seems to expand almost overnight. Their energy disappears. They wake up exhausted, even after sleeping for 8 hours, and losing weight suddenly feels harder than it ever did before. If this sounds familiar, I want you to know something very important right from the beginning. This is not your fault. Millions of women around the world experience exactly the same thing during menopause, and for years, many of them blame themselves without realizing that profound biological changes are taking place inside their bodies. And if you enjoy learning about women's health, menopause, healthy aging, and science-backed strategies to improve your quality of life, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Our mission is to share reliable, accessible, and evidence-based information to help you navigate this stage of life with confidence, clarity, and peace of mind. There is one sentence I hear over and over again. Doctor, I feel like my body doesn't belong to me anymore. That statement may sound dramatic, but for many women, that's exactly what menopause feels like. The rules suddenly change. The strategies that worked for 20 or 30 years stop producing the same results. Many women continue eating the same meals, maintaining the same exercise routines, and living similar lifestyles, yet their bodies begin responding differently. This creates frustration, guilt, and often a dangerous cycle of self-blame. But here's what science has discovered. Menopause itself is not a disease, and it is not a sign that your body is broken. It is a biological transition. However, this transition creates an entirely new internal environment that requires updated strategies. Organizations such as the North American Menopause Society, the National Institutes of Health, Mayo Clinic, Harvard Medical School, Cleveland Clinic, Johns Hopkins Medicine, and ACOG have consistently shown that the hormonal changes of menopause influence almost every system inside the body. And it all begins with estrogen. Most people associate estrogen exclusively with reproductive health, but estrogen is involved in far more than that. Estrogen helps regulate where fat is stored. It helps preserve muscle mass. It influences how insulin works. It supports cardiovascular health, protects bone density, participates in brain function, and even affects how hunger and fullness signals are processed. This explains why so many women begin noticing multiple symptoms at the same time. It's not just the weight gain. It's the brain fog. It's the lack of energy. It's the interrupted sleep. It's the increased anxiety. It's the slower recovery after exercise. It's the sudden appearance of stubborn belly fat. And one of the most important changes happens very quietly. Your body composition begins to change. Even if the number on the scale doesn't increase dramatically, the ratio between muscle and fat starts shifting. Many women don't realize that they are slowly losing muscle while gaining fat at the same time. This process naturally starts around the age of 30, but menopause accelerates it considerably. And here's something extremely important to understand. Muscle is one of your greatest metabolic allies. Muscle tissue burns more energy than fat tissue, even when you're resting. This means that preserving muscle becomes one of the most powerful tools for long-term weight management. At the same time, progesterone levels also begin to decline. Progesterone is often called the calming hormone because it helps support relaxation and healthy sleep patterns. As progesterone decreases, many women begin experiencing restless nights, frequent awakenings, night sweats, and persistent fatigue. Then another hormone enters the conversation, cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone. In healthy amounts, cortisol is essential for survival. The problem appears when stress becomes chronic. When cortisol remains elevated for long periods, the body enters a protective mode. Appetite often increases. Cravings become stronger. Belly fat becomes easier to accumulate, and the body becomes less efficient at using stored energy. Now let's add another piece to this puzzle, insulin. Insulin acts like a key that helps glucose enter your cells so your body can produce energy. During menopause, many women gradually become less sensitive to insulin. This condition, known as insulin resistance, means the body must produce more insulin to achieve the same result. And unfortunately, elevated insulin levels can make fat loss significantly more difficult. So if you've been asking yourself why everything suddenly changed, here's the answer. You did not suddenly lose your discipline. Your biology changed. And once we understand that, we can stop fighting against our bodies and finally begin working with them. Some women are also exploring supportive options that may complement these lifestyle changes. If there is a menopause support supplement mentioned in the description, it can be viewed as one additional tool that some women choose to incorporate alongside proper nutrition, physical activity, quality sleep, and professional medical guidance to support metabolism, weight management, and overall well-being during menopause and postmenopause. Now let's talk about 10 science-backed strategies that can truly help. The first tip is to prioritize protein at every meal. Protein becomes incredibly important because it helps preserve muscle mass, supports satiety, and helps stabilize energy levels throughout the day. Eggs, fish, chicken, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, beans, lentils, and tofu are excellent options. Many experts recommend making protein the foundation of every meal rather than treating it as an afterthought. The second tip is strength training. This may be one of the most powerful tools available during menopause. Strength training is not just about appearance. It sends a signal to your body that muscle is still necessary. It helps preserve metabolism, improve insulin sensitivity, strengthen bones, and support long-term weight management. Even 2 or 3 sessions per week can create meaningful changes over time. The third tip is to protect your sleep at all costs. Many people underestimate how profoundly sleep affects weight loss. Poor sleep changes hunger hormones, increases cortisol, and often intensifies cravings for sugary and highly processed foods. Sometimes the hidden reason behind stubborn belly fat isn't diet at all, it's exhaustion. The fourth tip is to reduce ultra-processed foods while increasing whole foods. Your body needs nourishment, not simply fewer calories. Fiber-rich foods help regulate digestion, improve gut health, stabilize blood sugar, and promote fullness. Vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, legumes, and healthy fats all contribute to a healthier metabolic environment. The fifth tip is to stabilize blood sugar. Large spikes and crashes in blood sugar can increase hunger and make fat loss much more difficult. A simple strategy is to combine protein, fiber, and healthy fats in every meal. This creates a steadier energy supply throughout the day. The sixth tip is to learn how to manage stress. Stress is not just emotional. It is biological. Chronic stress affects almost every system inside the body. Simple practices such as meditation, deep breathing, spending time outdoors, and setting healthy boundaries can produce significant long-term benefits. The seventh tip is to increase daily movement outside of structured exercise. Walking after meals, standing more frequently, taking stairs, and reducing sedentary time may seem small, but these habits accumulate into powerful results over time. The eighth tip is to include cardiovascular exercise without overdoing it. Cardio supports heart health, endurance, and overall energy expenditure. However, excessive high-intensity workouts without proper recovery may increase physical stress in some women. Balance is far more important than intensity. The ninth tip is consistency instead of perfection. One of the biggest mistakes women make is chasing quick fixes. Extreme diets may produce temporary results, but sustainable habits create lasting success. Progress is built through repetition, not perfection. And the 10th tip is to seek individualized medical care. Every woman's menopause journey is different. Some struggle more with sleep, others struggle more with insulin resistance, others experience severe hot flashes, anxiety, fatigue, or brain fog. Personalized care makes a tremendous difference. It's also important to understand that some symptoms improve over time, while others require ongoing attention. Hot flashes and night sweats often become less frequent for many women. However, reduced estrogen may continue influencing abdominal fat accumulation, muscle preservation, bone density, insulin sensitivity, cardiovascular health, sleep quality, and cognitive performance if left unaddressed. This is why menopause should never be viewed as the end of health. It should be viewed as the beginning of a new strategy. At this stage, Some women also choose to incorporate the menopause support supplement mentioned in the description as part of a broader wellness strategy. It should always be understood as a complementary approach that works alongside healthy habits, muscle preservation, quality sleep, and professional medical care rather than as a standalone solution. Therefore, in the first link in the description, there is a supplement specifically designed to support women during this stage of life, helping support metabolism, weight management, and overall well-being throughout menopause and postmenopause. So, what is the real answer? Why does losing weight become harder during menopause? Because declining estrogen levels alter body composition, increase abdominal fat storage, accelerate muscle loss, reduce insulin sensitivity, impair sleep quality, and make the body more vulnerable to the effects of chronic stress. But this does not mean your body is permanently damaged. It means your strategy must evolve. The goal is no longer to eat less and exercise more. The goal is to support your biology, protect your muscles, improve your sleep, manage your stress, nourish your body properly, move consistently, and seek appropriate medical guidance whenever necessary. The most important thing I want you to remember today is this: you did not fail. Your body changed, and now your strategy must change too. And the wonderful news is that science gives us many tools to improve quality of life, protect metabolism, preserve muscle mass, strengthen bones, support cardiovascular health, and help women feel healthier, stronger, and more energetic for decades to come. If this video helped you, subscribe to the channel, continue learning with us, and join a community dedicated to understanding female health through reliable and evidence-based information. Because the more you understand your body, the more empowered you become to take control of your health.